If you're wondering what you should be worried about if moving or relocating to North Carolina, then this video we're going to go over 10 major facts that you need to know before you make one of the biggest moves that you'll ever make. Let's dive in.
Hey guys, welcome back. We work, eat, sleep, play the Charlotte, Lake Norman, Metropolis area. And you shouldn't move here. Why? Because there's nothing to do here. There is not much to do here. There really isn't. I mean, I come from New Jersey, close to New York, and there is so much to do there. When you move here to North Carolina, you're kind of looking around like, where's all the action?
True. I mean, if I want a bagel joint, from what I hear about those in New Jersey, New York, you can find one right around the corner. I mean, what's our nearest real diner, Elizabeth?
Do we have diners here?
Exactly. Point taken. And if you want a pie with some cheddar on it, just like that you see in the Men in Black,
pie don't work unless you let it.
well, even though it is a southern thing, it's hard to find a good diner that can do it. So you're better off just ordering a pie from a special pie place, taking it home, and putting some home cheddar on it. Well, why? I mean, I was just talking to my sister the other day, and she's in Brooklyn. Yo, how you doing? And she's like, there's nothing to do in North Carolina. I'm not coming back. And I was like, ta. I tend to differ. Here in Charlotte, Uptown, we've got a whole lot to do. I mean, I'm just gonna rattle off a few. I mean, we got Belk Theater, right?
We do.
I mean, what's the most recent Broadway show that you saw? Now, of course, it was off Broadway.
Wicked. Oh, that was really good.
All right, but that means you'd have to be popular.
Very true. Very true.
And where did you see that at?
I saw that at Ovens Theater.
Okay, now we did have to wait for some music, and where did we go see that? Awesome concert.
Oh, Bojangles Coliseum.
Awesome, love that one. And also we got NASCAR Hall of Fame. We've got some awesome, amazing 5-star eateries, and we've got great, awesome 5-star hotels. There's so much to do in Charlotte. If you're a late night person, we got your back. You can go hit the bars, you can hit the disco. I mean, it's very lively. But as we start to come outside of Uptown Charlotte, you know, options start to get a little bit sparse. But yes, there are things to do, you know, like your local bar / karaoke, at least in the Cornelius, Lake Norman area. Hello. And some other fun facts. You can go to Whitewater Center. We got amazing nature trails, just literally all over. Shoot, we're in Lake Norman. Have you ever heard of the lake? Let's hit it. Go waterboarding all year round. But if you do have to put up your water sports, maybe in early September, because it is starting to get a little bit cold, right?
Yeah, it is.
We also the mountains are just a little bit away, but like Elizabeth was saying, that's not nearby. What? You gotta drive an hour and a half, and if the beach 3 hours and some extra, maybe 4 hours really. So if you're saying that there's not a lot to do here, but in a localized area, I can see that. I mean, we got movie theaters, we got outdoor mall, we got Birkdale, we got tennis, we got pickle, we got golf, we've got sports teams. NBA, we've got NFL, we've got MLS, we also have amateur baseball here in the Charlotte, Lake Norman metropolis.
That's right, Paul.
So, at least here in Charlotte, you don't have to worry about missing the train and not getting back home, right? I mean, paying extra for a taxi. How many people out there watching this have ever had to do that, to cross back over to where they need to go? Because they missed the train if you're in New York. You see here, we're about 20 minutes, 30 minutes from everywhere. And nowadays, yeah, we do have taxis. And yes, we do have public transit if you need a carpool. But, you know, you just call yourself a Lyft or an Uber.
That's right.
But hey, I'm getting a little really jazzy. And, you know, we talk about these conversations all the time with our clients who are calling on in. And we absolutely love it. And number 2 is, hey, look out, people. Do not move here. Stay away if you can't say hello to.
We may have to consider our choices carefully.
That's right, you guessed it, guns. So I remember when Elizabeth was just talking, and she was saying, hey Paul, it was like 2 a.m., 3 a.m., and what were they shooting off, Elizabeth?
I thought fireworks.
Yeah, and that's pretty much what I did too. So if you don't like being woken up, maybe, well, I'm a very light sleeper, so 3 a.m., you might hear a little shishing, shisham, shebang. Those aren't fireworks, Elizabeth. Those are people having a little bit of fun using their guns. See, here in North Carolina, a lot of people have guns, and a lot of people don't have guns. But just like all people that carry guns, you know, normally it's kind of like taught at a very early age, you know, not only how to use the gun, but then how to take care of the gun and the right ways about going about everything. Yes, we do have lessons here in North Carolina, and you can go get your
license.
That's right, concealed carry,
Yes.
or not. Also, you know, in the metropolis area, you don't have a lot of land, but if you go, promise, about 10 minutes, maybe 15 out, you're going to run to a gun range. Why? Because people love to shoot their guns. Also, if you go just a little bit further out, hey, you're going to run into some farms, and like I said, people are kind of taught to do this. You know, people, at least from the people I've always talked to, they know, well, most of the time, speaking of which, they know where their food comes from. And where does the food come from, Elizabeth?
The dirt?
That's right, the dirt. And you're going to see a lot of families here in North Carolina planting, cultivating the land, and even sometimes you'll see your friends at school growing up with some deer sausage. Why? Because early that morning, it was deer season, and we're out there. Duck season, and we're out there. Hey, where's your food come from, Elizabeth?
The dirt. Number 3, guys. In the 90s, everything was cool. It was chill. It was not as much traffic as there is right now because so many people have moved here and there is not enough space. So, yes, there is a lot of traffic, especially when it comes to 77 here in Charlotte. There is tons of traffic. There is, they've built, you know, a freeway, expressway, and the expressway is expensive. So if there's lots of traffic on the one side, and then there's the expressway, you're paying like $4 or $5 like every maybe mile you go. So, I mean, personally, I sit in the traffic because I want to save that money. I mean, I can get a coffee with that. I'll sit in traffic. That's fine. That's fine. So, yeah, the traffic here in North Carolina, they really need to expand those roads.
But let's tell all the good folks at home. There's a way to get around that for free. Yeah, I spelled it F-R-E-E. And how we get there for free?
You take 3 people in your car and then you drive the expressway.
Right.
So,
yeah,
you can drive for free.
And you'll
carpooling, guys.
You'll have to make sure that you do have the placard, or it's just a magnetic thing that it's a part of. You attach it to the window, and it's from. You can order it online. And no, it will not work because people will try everything and anything. And most recently, what have they been trying? No, your blow-up dolls will not work because they're just that. The technology is amazing.
Those cameras.
Hey.
They can tell it's a blow-up doll.
And really, the reason this has happened is that in the 90s, you know, there wasn't such a mass population move. And in my opinion, I do believe it's the city planners that didn't calculate nor think to the future as to, we're going to have a lot of people moving here in a little bit. So I-77 used to be 2 lanes, and that was okay. But then they came up with this great idea that they'll make an express lane and build it out to 4. And that was an absolute horrendous idea. And now they have 1 channel for the express lane, and the other lanes, everyone has to sit in. So basically, it's not a true 4. It's like a 3.5. Where do we go wrong with that? Hey, Number 4, be aware of this. If you are someone that wants to run for local office, we applaud you. Also, be aware that here in North Carolina, people don't like new. People like the establishment. People like this is how we've always done it. Now, as we all know, it's not always the best way. And new's not always the best way either. So just be aware, if someone ever finds out that you might be voting for not the incumbent, you may get a certain phrase thrown your way. Oh, bless your heart. That does not actually mean what you think it means. It means the complete opposite. And just like probably all areas of the world, they're not going to be talking well about you after you move right along. So here, I mean, we do have individuals going for public office, aldermen, and the mayor, and it's in the heat of the moment, and you will see people with their signs in their yards representing their candidates, and we wish you all the best. Make sure that you vote, and if you don't vote, make sure you get out and vote. And if you need a ride, just call. Someone's going to help you get there. Because people here in North Carolina are truly friendly.
We are. Okay guys, number 6, here we have grocery stores. So we have 3 grocery stores that are native here to North Carolina. We have Food Lion, which is right over in Davidson. If you've ever seen those commercials for Food Lion, that store that they use is the one over in Davidson. So, and then there's also Lowe's Foods, of course. And that is, they're trying out this new Lowe's kind of foods concept, which is more live, interactive.
Yeah, true.
Foods. And then we have Harris Teeter, which is headquarters over in Matthews, North Carolina. So Food Lion is great. It's got some great prices, I think. But it's, you know, the meat isn't always, I feel, the freshest or the best, but it's also it's good prices. And then the Lowe's Interactive grocery store is a lot of fun. They have a bar there, and they have live music.
I know. I would
every
not call
Friday
it.
night.
I would not call that a bar.
All right.
Basically, you can walk in. Every grocery cart has like a little cup holder, which Elizabeth likes to call the bar, and you can go get yourself a nice beverage, a craft beer beverage, or even one of these amazing shakalakis, delicious ice cream frappuccino coffee, which I think is way better than Starbucks. I know I'm gonna get something in the comments for that one, but hey. Just how I feel.
Still
about
really
it.
good.
Now, what else about? I didn't mean to cut you in there, but
No, you're good.
But I don't think we could call that a bar.
Well, it's
Very
a fun place to stop before you go shopping.
Yeah.
Just saying.
I remember when Elizabeth was just like, "Oh yeah, that's good," and all of a sudden we heard a yell from across the grocery store, yelling, "Fresh cookies!"
Oh yes.
Elizabeth tears away, and she shows up at Scrumdiddlyumptious. I was like, this candle thing going on in Lowe's. Like, what is going on? Then we just took a turn and all the way next to, I don't even know where we were. It's like in Boar's Head Heaven. And what did you run across that you just absolutely fell in love with?
Chocolate chip cookies.
Chocolate chip cookie important to me too.
Yeah, well, she was chewing on those. The barbecue was amazing. And then right next to that, we had these amazing sandwiches. And then you could just take your sandwich, grab your beer, grab your brewskis, and go sit down, enjoy the free Wi-Fi, enjoy the coffee. I mean, it's like you don't even have, you can live in the grocery store. Yeah. And like Elizabeth said, they're always having some fun things to do with live music on Fridays.
Yeah. Paul loves Lowe's, as you can see. But my favorite is Harris Teeter. Guys, I come, like I said, from New Jersey, New York area, and I went to Harris Teeter when I moved here 13 years ago, and let me tell you, I went shopping, and then I went up to the cashier, and I was like, where do I put my groceries? Where do I put my groceries? There was no place to put my groceries. The woman just took my cart and started checking it out from the groceries inside the cart. I didn't have to unload my groceries onto a conveyor belt. It was amazing. I was like, what? Who invented this? Because it's just so much easier, guys. I love it. I was hooked. I was head and Harris Teeter all the time. My favorite. I do miss Wegmans. I miss Wegmans. Wegmans has such good quality food. We only have 3, I think it's here in North Carolina. There is none in Charlotte, which is very sad. And I did talk to my client that I had moved here from New Jersey here to Charlotte, North Carolina, and we bonded definitely over missing the Wegmans. So I understand.
You know what? Now you say what you just said, it was like an epiphany. I never realized that I'm not unchecking my cart. They just come up and do it. What's awesome.
It is.
I never thought about that.
It's awesome.
Thanks for sharing that. Look at me.
Yeah.
I'm learning something new with you guys. Hey, that number that's popping up on the screen, that's our number. Believe it or not, either Elizabeth or myself, that's how you directly get a hold of us, and we'll be answering your phone calls. If you have any questions and you're looking for the best lifestyle, we help so many people move and relocate to Lake Norman, the Charlotte metropolis, and it's our pride and joy. We work, eat, sleep, play the marketplace, and this is how you get a hold of us, because we never stop working for you. We're on number 7. Number 7 is, goodness gracious me, if you ever get some of that precipitation in the atmosphere that might be hitting 32 degrees Fahrenheit, you may know what I'm talking about. Here in North Carolina, don't ever use that word, snow, because people will run to the grocery store. The grocery store is just listed, perhaps, you know what I'm saying? And when they get to the grocery store, what are they pulling out? Leave it in the comments if you know what they're pulling out after you subscribe and like this video, because they're pulling out some eggs,
Milk,
bread, and brewskis. And if they're feeling really adventurous, maybe some ammo at the local spot. You never know what's going to go on. So here in North Carolina, the snow is not the pow-pow that we love in the West. And if you're a skier or snowboarder, you know what I'm talking about. The snow here is nothing but that. It's just not real. And we only get like 1 inch. And if we get 1 inch, oh my goodness, you'd think that something like just has happened. Schools are shut down. Now, it is true that we are in the South, and you know, we don't get a lot of snow, so they don't actually have the taxes for the infrastructure for the salt on the roads. So you should really know what that means. What does that mean, everybody? That means that we're gonna have black what?
black ice.
Black ice. That's exactly what we have here in North Carolina. Your snow turns to ice. And I remember someone that shall not be named decided not to clear off their driveway, like we all know we need to do. It's a good workout. Get out there, shovel. It's a lot of fun. They drove off out into the world. They didn't get too far. They drove back and couldn't get up their driveway. And the reason is because the sun was out melting the snow, and then in the evening it turned to ice. And how are you going to get up a driveway without four-wheel drive? That's a story for another time. With ice, it's tough. Also, back in the 90s, we had a massive ice storm. I mean, think about it. Snow or rain, it's really just rain. That's like the worst. And then overnight it froze, and all this ice accumulated on the tree branches, and all of a sudden, clack, clack. No more power. And it was such a devastation that people were without power for days. And that means they were in the cold for days. Oh my goodness. Now, it's not the Buffalo, New York cold, but yeah, people still talk about it to this day. So, if you're a kid, you're going to love this because you're not going to school anytime soon. But just be on the lookout for when you do go sledding, because the snow isn't real snow. Your snow may quickly turn into dirt or mud. And you may have mud snow. And then you can go mud sledding. Yeah. and still have some fun. So basically wintertime, oh my goodness me, there's snow here. Let's all freak out and let's hide it and go take everything from the grocery store. And then the very next day, it's all gone. So you answer that one for me, please.
All right, number 8, guys, is the airport. And we have the Charlotte Airport.
International.
Yes, international. Thank you, Paul. And that actually is one of the most costliest airports, along with PTI, which is
in the nation. Most costliest in the nation. Not the absolute costliest, but let me tell you, the jingle jangle is just flying out of those pockets. Somebody call me. Woo!
Okay, so
hey, it hurts.
I know it does. It does. So if you want to not spend as much, you could always drive to Myrtle Beach, and their airport is actually cheaper. Personally, I wouldn't suggest it because I think to myself, why would I drive 3.5 hours to Myrtle Beach and to get on a plane for a little bit less money? Because you're spending that money in gas.
I know why.
Why?
Because you want to see the scenery before you get on an airplane.
Maybe you do, but just think about on your way home after your flight. When you are tired, then you've got to drive 3.5 hours back home.
I'm not coming home. I'm at the beach.
You know what, guys? You can decide if you want to spend the money or if you want to.
And whether you're gonna spend the money or not spend the money, if your people at work need you to get on that flight, I mean, we have the hub of American Airlines.
American Airlines.
Why is it so expensive in the International Charlotte Airport? I don't know. Someone explain this to me. It's boggling my mind. But hey, if work says, hey, we need you here, there, and skippity-doo, then hey, you know, you're not paying for that anyways. Just make sure, do me a promise, a double finger cross here, please, that you get your air miles. Make sure to do that.
Very important.
Love it. Hey guys, we are number 9. We're almost there, and I got a huge one coming up. Hey, number 9 is, yes, it is true, we got some great mountains here. I mean, we got Asheville, we got Boone, we've got the Blue Ridge, we've got people that love to film their movies here. I mean, have you ever heard of Forrest Gump or maybe even The Last of the Mohicans? Whew, beautiful. And what you gotta be aware of, avoid these mountains, because these mountains are not huge. Everybody and their sister, brothers, dogs, cousins, cats are gonna be there. And like we said earlier, the snow that we get in North Carolina is not pow-pow, and we don't get a lot of it. So explain to me how we're going to be able to snowboard ski, or even nowadays call it snow tubing, when there's no snow. So what are you going to get when you get onto these mountains? You're going to get artificial snow. And we all know what happens with artificial snow. As you probably already saying, it turns to ice. So I remember when I had a brand new Burton board. I mean, this thing was flossy. And I was just sitting on the bench, you know, doing something I forget. And all of a sudden, this person who didn't really know how to ski was slipping, sliding, 1 up, 2 up, and boom. Yeah, to this day I got a ding in my snowboard. And that was day 1. Tell me about it. Also, you're going to see people, because it's just so crowded on these mountains, you're going to see people breaking legs. Yeah. Arms, elbows, collarbones, falling out of lifts. Really, because it's all ice. And running into trees. I mean, literally going off. Hey, everyone, this is the trailhead. And you can't lose the trailhead because there's just so many people there and it's so tight. You know? So if there's a fall, it's going to be a breakup. It's going to be a breakup. Big time. Boom, 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 boom. Domino effect. So just be on the lookout with that. If you really want to get some awesome snow, you got to go out west, or in West Virginia, snowshoe. So just be aware of that. That's the closest one for us. Mm-hmm. And here, coming in at number 10, is what you've been waiting for. Be on the lookout for the sports teams here in North Carolina. And please talk to someone before you go and invest, I would not call this investment because apparently you can gamble on sports. I once talked to an individual who said to me, I asked him, well, now you know it's him. Well, who's your favorite sports team? And he said, whichever one makes me money. So, lackluster sports teams here in North Carolina, absolutely. We are in October, it's like the 23rd, something like that, in 2023. Elizabeth just checked out the Lions. The score for the Lions game was 42.
Yeah, to 24 Panthers. That was...
And here in North Carolina, in case you just got that confused, we have the Carolina Panthers.
That's right.
And you got to be on the lookout for the lackluster, okay? We've had some great coaches and individual team members, such as Steve Smith, oh yeah, Julius Peppers, oh yeah. We got Greg Olson. We got, a lot of people love Kuechly. We got Cam Newton. We've got so many more. McCaffrey, that I can't just list them all out. But just know we got some great individual all-stars. Yes, we do. But coming together, we all know what happened. All you had to do was take the ball over the end zone. We would have been champions. And people are still hurt to this day. Also, we got the NBA Hornets. Now, back in the 90s, awesome memorabilia. And then the NBA team turned into the Bobcats, and thank goodness they're back to the Hornets. Yeah, and they're right here in Charlotte, North Carolina, absolutely. And Elizabeth got called all the time. Hey, Elizabeth.
Yeah.
Do you have any of that 90s memorabilia? Hornets? So be on the lookout. You can find them in secondhand shops. And that's worth money, so be on the lookout for that. Also, we have brand new, the Charlotte FC, which is an MLS team where Messi just played a few days ago. Maybe we can throw some young Messi up on the screen, cameraman.
Messi again. Messi with the shot. Oh!
It was awesome. That guy is a goal-scoring machine and truly, probably one of the best soccer players to ever grace this earth, with a whole lot more, and I'm not going to get into all that. Also, what we have here in North Carolina, well, you probably guessed it. We got some champs. Yes, we do. We got Michael Jordan. He's from here. But we also have, before we get into the champs sports, because it's not all lackluster, we also have the Charlotte Knights, a little amateur baseball team in the heart of Charlotte. Super great. To grab yourself a hot dog, July 4th, see some fireworks. Absolutely love it. Oh, I love it. Peanuts, hot dog, third baseline. It's so much fun. All right, but NASCAR. Did you guys?
Yeah.
We do have an F1 team down here, but hey, we got NASCAR. You got some champs like Richard Petty, like Dale Earnhardt.
Dale Earnhardt Jr.
Put up 3 for Dale. And we also have Lee Petty, Herb Thomas, and Ned Jarrett. Another victorious team that we have here in North Carolina is the Hurricanes, NHL hockey. It was super great. Oh, that's so much fun, but you gotta be aware that one's actually in Raleigh. And don't ever forget, PGA loves to come here playing at the Quail Hollow.
If you found this information useful, we come out with these videos, new videos, every single Wednesday because we work, eat, sleep, play the North Carolina, Lake Norman, Charlotte metropolis, and we
absolutely love it. Hey, that number that's coming up on the screen right now is literally how you get a hold of us, and using all that information and using our knowledge. So many clients reach out to us and they use it so they can find their own, maybe it's a new home or going into their dream home. We got your backs days, nights, weekends. Why? Because we never stop working for you.
And if you don't want to miss anything else, guys, just subscribe. If you don't want to miss another video, click right here.